Pretty soon we'll be ashes. Yeah, we got with 3 tour buses each. We roll with 12 tour buses.
Very often, if you ask a member of a band where they got their inspiration from in the first place and what drove them to join a band, the answer will be the same: boredom. Sometimes the rot sets in at school, where a feeling of being different might set you off on a different path to those around you. Once you've got that sense, it's very hard to shake it off. And when people begin to ask you what you're going to do once you leave school, it can seem like there's really very little to say. And a place like Pontypridd, with the greatest respect, is hardly the most cosmopolitan place on earth. So if you have this feeling of being something of an outsider, or having a nagging suspicion that you have something to say that can't easily be said working in a bank, or in a shop, or in some other dead-end job where the only release is getting off your face at weekends, it can be hard to figure out what to do. For Ian Watkins, it may have been more a sense of wanting to get out and have fun, making the kind of music he liked to hear, that led him to become the drummer with Public Disturbance. Determined to get themselves a life doing what they loved most, the band toured diligently around Britain, making lots of contacts, but finally having to admit defeat when it became clear that Public Disturbance were not going to hit the big time. When it came to forming Lostprophets, it was assumed that Ian would be the drummer, as his shyness had prevented him, thus far, from being considered front man. But the truth was that whatever his strengths as a drummer may have been, he was an excellent vocalist and would turn out to be an unbeatable frontman. His natural integrity and lack of pretentiousness would confirm this. So he and Lee decided they would look for a new Sticksman. Enter Mike Chiplin. All they needed to complete the classic 4-piece rock band now was a bass player. Ian, Lee and Mike had known each other a long time, since they were young children, so it would have been hard for any newcomer to break through the bond that held them together. In the end, it proved impossible. After a short time, it became clear that taking on board a relative stranger was not going to work, and it was then they turned to the solution that had probably been staring them in the face all along. Although Mike Lewis had fronted Public Disturbance as a guitarist, the move to bass was an easy transition to make. Lostprophets now had a bass player, one who they knew and trusted. Fortunately, it was a formula that worked, for the time being at least. There would be changes to come in the future, but for now the important thing was to get out there and do all the things that recently formed bands are supposed to do: write songs, get gigs, and record some demos. Maybe it's just as well that when bands like Lostprophets start out, they have such determination that they don't let the odds against them deter them. On the face of it, being a band from a nondescript town in Wales and wanting to make the kind of music normally made by American bands like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, or any of the bewildering plethora of nu metal bands around, might not be the best career option. On the other hand, when the best career option going is no career option at all, it makes perfect sense. And for all those who think that being in a nu metal band is a simple matter of making a trip to the local surf and skate shop for those essential baggy pants, claiming that Black Sabbath is your favourite band, or that you think that all teen pop, and Britney Spears in particular, is total crap, there may be some bad news. Having good songs is actually the most important bit. If you've got that and the right amount of determination to succeed, you might just be in with a chance. Just ask Lostprophets. They began with all the odds stacked against them and proved that it could be done. But back in 1997, what they needed most was a break. No matter how good your band is, it's no good having your friends and family listen once to the demo CD you've made and then toss it in the kitchen drawer, never to be seen again. You need to break out of that restrictive, dead-end scene and get out in the real world, where you need to convince someone, somewhere, that what you have is solid gold and nothing less. And happily for Lostprophets, they did just that.